Hey, what's up, everybody, man? So, Brian Flores is getting Black History Month started off the right way. He's wasting no time, bruh. He's letting it be known, man. I don't know what y'all be doing with Eric Bieniemy every single year, but I am not the fucking one, bruh. He's suing the Dolphins, the Giants, and the Broncos for racism and discrimination, bruh. And the actual file being claimed, as you can see, is 58 pages long. I did not read all of that. Ain't nobody about to read all that, bruh. But here's the bits and pieces that I did come across. So on Twitter, it says that Flores says that Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, offered to pay him $100,000 for every loss during the 2019 season to help the team get a better draft spot. And he was mad when the team kept winning. This is 100% believable simply because we saw what the Dolphins was doing, bruh. We saw them trade away hella players for draft picks. We seen they was going out there getting their ass kicked. We seen that they had no real intentions of really winning. So I believe that Stephen Ross' intentions was to lose out that year to get better draft picks, bro. I 100% believe it. And on top of that, there's always been allegations of teams throwing games, coaching themselves out of games. Based off the schemes, you can tell they're not really trying to care about winning. There's always been speculations of games being rigged. Technically, it's not being rigged by the NFL, but the owner is paying the coach to throw games. That ain't like Stephen Ross, some type of genius, bro. He's not the first GM doing this shit. He's just the first one that's caught. Flat out, bro. I understand why, Brian Flores kept winning out. He already got the head coaching position. He already signed for some years. He already got his M's. Brian Flores cares about the team, which is the players, because ain't no players trying to go out there and lose purposely. And, people can see through the BS at the end of the day, bro. Brian Flores, he trying to protect his relationship with the team. He's trying to build his own legacy. And nobody wants to lose in general. Even Stephen Ross does not want to lose. He's just doing it for business purposes so he can really win in the long run, But the shit is illegal, the shit is corny, and I understand Brian Flores 100% because ain't nobody trying to just waste their time out here coaching to lose games. You feel me? Then the shit really gets a little bit more interesting, So then it comes out to the point where it says that at the end of the 2019 season, Mr. Ross began to pressure Mr. Flores to recruit a prominent quarterback in violation of league tampering rules. Mr. Flores repeatedly refused to comply with those improper directives. Undeterred, in the winter of 2020, Mr. Ross invited Mr. Flores on a yacht for lunch. Shortly after he arrived, Mr. Ross told Mr. Flores that the prominent quarterback was conveniently arriving at the marina. Obviously, Mr. Ross had attempted to set up a purportedly impromptu, why they gotta use all these corny ass words, meeting between Mr. Flores and the prominent quarterback. Mr. Flores refused the meeting and left the yacht immediately. Smart man, you feel me? After the incident, Mr. Flores was treated with disdain and held out as someone who was non-compliant and difficult to work with. So basically right here, Brian Flores was just really trying to protect his job at the end of the day. And you can see from his time of refusing to lose those games, Brian Flores is protecting himself at the end of the day. He knows he's a black coach. He knows his opportunities are limited. He's trying to protect his image. He's trying to protect his legacy. He's not putting that shit on the line for some boof-ass Stephen Ross owner. He's not trying to do that, bro. And I respect him 100% for that, for not putting his integrity to the side, unlike Stephen Ross, Then it goes on to say that Flores' suit includes text from Bill Belichick that appeared to show him congratulating him on getting the Giants job mistakenly, believing he was texting Brian DeBoer. This was before Flores' interview with the Giants even took place. Bill Belichick, old ass, fucking up with the technology, man. I can't believe it, bro. But anyway, bro, here's the actual text messages, bro. It says, sounds like you have landed. Congrats. Did you hear something I didn't hear? Giants? I interviewed on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it. Got it. I hear from Buffalo, New York that you are their guy. Hope it works out if you want it to. That's definitely what I want. I hope you're right, Coach. Thank you. Coach, are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian DeBall? Just making sure. Bill Belichick, old ass, probably looked at the phone hard as shit. Oh. Then text, sorry, I fucked this up. I double checked and misread the text. I think they're naming DeBall. I'm sorry about that, BB. He felt like shit. You could just tell by the way he was typing that, bruh. He felt bad, bruh. And he felt stupid. And he should feel stupid, bro. He should feel dumb. But this is nothing against Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick just helped out Brian Flores and all the other candidates out there that's, trying to be coaches, but they black and getting held back. But clearly they already had their mind made up to hire Brian DeBall. It was so obvious that he was going to be the coach that Bill Belichick is shooting him congratulation texts, not knowing that he texts Brian Flores on accident, who was going in for an interview. Like, basically, they're wasting that man's time. They wasted this man's time. Knowing they had no real intention to hire him, they wasted his time to come out there, fly out, and talk it up with him for about 2 to 3 hours, bruh. He could be doing other things. So I understand Brian Flores completely. Now, what I will say is you can't 100% say that Flores didn't have a shot. Because, jobs even do the same shit. They already have in their mind who they hiring. Jobs be playing the same games, bro. Like, it's a business at the end of the day. They all play the same game. So, it's really possible that Flores had a shot. It's just that, they wanted to see all their potential candidates through, supposedly. That's what they go pretty much pull. And they go get away with it, But that's pretty much that. But it's fucked up that, coaches are getting their time wasted because teams are more focused on knocking out the Rodney rule rather than actually giving these coaches real opportunities. And then, like I said, the Broncos, they're in the mix too. It says that incredibly, this was not Mr. Flores' first sham interview that was held only in an effort to comply with the Rodney rule. Indeed, in 2019, Mr. Flores was scheduled to interview with the Denver Broncos. However, the Broncos' then general manager, John Elway, president and chief executive officer, Joe Ellis, and others showed up an hour late to the interview. They looked completely disheveled, and it was obvious that they had been drinking heavily the night before. It was clear from the substance of the interview that Mr. Flores was interviewed only because of the Rodney rule, and that the Broncos never had any intention to consider him as a legitimate candidate for the job. Shortly thereafter, Vic Fangio, a white man who just got his ass fired as well, was hired to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos. And they also said that the interview was very short. And then it comes out, the Broncos, they said the allegations for Brian Flores directed towards the Broncos in today's court filing are blatantly false. I could just hear him say, they're blatantly false. But our interview with Mr. Flores regarding our head coaching position began promptly at the scheduled time, 7:30 a.m., that's early as shit, on January 5th, 2019 in Providence, Rhode Island Hotel. There were 5 Bronco executives present for the interview, which lasted approximately 3, and it's a lot of cap. You can finish reading it, bro, but the shit probably cap, they're probably lying, But then the NFL, they don't make it no better, bro. The NFL, they released their own statement shortly after. It says the NFL and our clubs are deeply committed to ensuring equitable employment practices and continue to make progress in providing equitable opportunities throughout our organizations. Diversity is core to everything we do, and there are few issues on which our clubs and our internal leadership team spent more time. We will defend against these claims, which are without merit. So for my people that don't know what without merit means, because I didn't know, it means that finding that abuse, neglect, or exploitation did not occur. So basically, they're saying that Brian Flores is basically spreading false rumors, false allegations and shit like that. And it's crazy because I don't understand why they would say Brian Flores is lying and shit when the shit just came out about 2 hours ago. I don't know what type of legal action or investigation takes about 2 hours to solve, at least to this degree. But man, that's not a good look for the league, you know? This is like any of us is calling up to somebody's HR department. Like they actually care about what we saying. Anybody that knows the HR department, they don't care about what you got to say. They are going to protect the company and their people under the company all day. They'll hear you out, though. They'll hear your complaints out. They'll hear anything you got to say out. But at the end of the day, ain't nobody really getting in trouble, bruh. That's just the hardcore truth in case you don't know. But truly, ain't nobody really about to get in trouble, man. It was just nice to talk to you, you know? So, that's definitely not a good look. They're looking as racist as they've been looking racist for a while, you know? And, you know, it's crazy because people like to say that everything is not about race. It's not all about race. A lot of the things that people have painted as race does not have to do with race in the NFL. But, man, this right here, you know, it obviously could be worse. But obviously it appears that they're wasting people's time, specifically Brian Flores' time, just to knock out the Rodney rule. They've been doing it to Eric Bieniemy for years. Eric Bieniemy just not standing up for himself. I've been said Eric Bieniemy needs to stop going to these interviews. He's making a fool out of himself as well. The league already making a fool out of him, but he's making a fool out of himself by keep going to these interviews, bro. Clearly they're not rocking with you. It's clear as day. Even though you are a high-tier candidate, you're only a candidate because you're black. They're trying to knock out the Rodney rule, bro. That's about it. You keep getting in your flyest suits, your flyest dress shoes, your best tie. You probably put on some cologne. You know, you get a fresh cut. Well, Eric Bieniemy doesn't even have any hair, you feel me? So he got a bald head, so at least he don't got to get a cut. But he sure is shining that head up. I know he's shining it up. And you go, you know, catch a flight to whatever city it is, rather it's hot, cold, and you sit up here and sit down with these GMs and owners for a few hours just for them to just be chopping it up with you and wasting your time, you know? That gotta hurt internally, bro. Like, he act like it's all cool, but, bro, deep down, that shit's bothering him, bro. Just like it's bothering Brian Flores, and he stood up for himself. So, hopefully, you know, Eric Bieniemy either stops going to these interviews or stands up for himself because, like, they're making a fool out of you, too, but that's pretty much how I feel. I am glad that Brian Flores put himself first rather than going out here, taking these losses for money, interviewing and tampering players when he's not supposed to. Basically holding his integrity in and being smart about the situation. Because at the end of the day, you may be with this team right now, but shit, this team probably kick you to the curb next. And all that stuff that you was doing, as far as losing games, if you was losing those games for money, you may have made some money, but you ain't about to get no other job. And you black already, bruh. It's hard out here, man. It's hard out here. Then what if he would have got caught for interviewing that player? Like, he was doing a good job protecting himself. I love it, bruh. But as far as the shit that he's seen with the Bill Belichick text, I think what he's doing is the right thing. And he's probably not going to get another coaching job today. At least he stood up for what he believed, bruh. And he stood up for others. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and I got some more content coming soon.